I'm sorry, I don't know anything about it. I bought it in an auction in Colwyn Bay 6 weeks ago.
Oh, right, so it's fresh.
It's fresh.
So I'm the first mug in a sense.
First to see it.
Okay, well, the basic concept here is what we call a sun and moon watch. And they go back into the 17th century, even possibly earlier than that. But the idea is that you use a conventional hand for the minutes here, and then you have a turning disc which has the sun and the moon, so that the hand goes around once an hour, and the sun comes up at 6 o'clock in the morning and goes down at 6 o'clock in the evening, and the moon comes up at 6 o'clock in the evening, goes down at 6 o'clock in the morning, but backwards. Is that right?
I've no idea.
Well, hang on, I'm going to pull it apart, if you don't mind. I promise I'll be able to put it back together again. Not advisable. Yeah. I should put a sign up, shouldn't I? Dangerous, don't try this at home. Right. Well, that is the first point here. If we look, we start with 6 dots, 7 dots, 8 dots, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it must run backwards.
Yes.
Anyway, as I said, these watches go back into the 17th century, and the plate we're looking at here, this plate, which is inlaid in silver for the moon, gold for the sun, and blued, they're inlaid into steel, and the steel is polished and blued. Now, over the years, the bluing has rather died away. It's looking a bit sort of browny grey. But that plate, I will bet, is circa 1700, whereas this watch is obviously considerably later. Now, we've got a maker's name on it. Owain, okay. Guillaume ab Owain, Llangefni, good. Okay, and it says number 1, 1815. And if you've looked at the engraving, it's really very crude, isn't it? It's not good quality compared to the watches of this period. Watches of this period, the balance cocks and the engraving were done almost by amateurs. They were done by outworkers.
Yes.
Sometimes working people, farmers and wives who did it in the evening, but they were very skilled and they worked to very accurate patterns, particular designs. This is really somewhat wayward, all over the place, and I would say that it's therefore done by the man himself. Right. I had a brief look for his name. I can't find anything on him at this point. So I think he is a completely local watchmaker. As I said, hand-done engraving. They've used a piece of glass in the end of the balance cock here, so you can see through to the balance. But it gets worse, or better, as you might say. It's usual for these watches to have a fusee and barrel and a chain. And here we've got 2 barrels with a fusee chain running off one barrel onto the other barrel, and then off that barrel being wound onto the fusee. So that means effectively you're doubling the power, because you've got 2 mainsprings pulling on one thing. And my guess is that it will probably go for more than the usual 30 hours. I would say, again, you just can't even see it here, but inside there is an extra wheel in the train. So therefore the thing probably goes for 8 days. So what we've got is a completely amateur watch, dated 1815, using a piece that he probably found from a much earlier watch of 1700, and he's created a complete watch around it. 8-day going, and going in reverse. And the reason it goes in reverse, of course, is that every time you add an extra wheel in a train of wheels, it goes the other way. Right. So he's added an extra wheel to make it go 8 days rather than 1, or whatever the duration is, but he's ended up with it going backwards. So he hasn't been put off at all. He's simply engraved the dial backwards. It must have been made for himself. And 1815 is also the date on the case, interesting enough, as a hallmark. So it's not just something that somebody's put together out of bits he's found. A lot of work's gone into it. Extraordinary. You think you've seen everything, and then this turns up.
Yes.
I suppose I'm going to ask you the embarrassing question now. What did you pay?
I paid £600 approximately, altogether.
Oh, I think that's all right. I mean, the country sales are not always bargains by any means. No. 600. I would have said an 8-day watch? I would have said that's worth £1,000 of anybody's money. Yeah. It's a quite extraordinary object. Are you any the wiser?
Well, it's unusual. I mean, I thought it was unusual when I saw it.
Great. Well, I admire your courage.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.